Okay, we are live. Hopefully, did the notification went out, girly? Did you get it
That's
yet?
what I'm. No.
Not yet. It's showing that it's live, so.
Came out, came back in it. Oh, come on, YouTube.
It's so slow. Oh,
Yeah,
people are
there we
starting
go.
to come in. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Daycare with the Kids. Monique Abram. Keita in Quebec. Hey, hey, hey.
Usual suspects. Hi, everybody. Now I'm on.
Okay, cool. We got your girl Bree on the line.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Sophies.
Girl. We had a little bit of a mild moment in midday chat.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes, I know. Somebody came in and was like, I don't do. This is supposed to be soap news, not a place for for you to call out people's names.
Oh, really? Well, then they can go on their own platform and do what they choose to do. That's so. No,
I'm
we
like, yeah, I
we have
wouldn't.
fun over here.
Yeah, we have fun over here, and I wouldn't have a YouTube channel if I didn't have the soapies. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we'll be just talking to ourselves.
Yeah, that's exactly. People, yeah, never mind. We
Yeah.
will not pay them any mind. We love the Sophies. We are Sophies. We just like to have fun. Some people take things too seriously.
I know. And thank you guys so much for 12,000 subscribers.
Oh my goodness. 12,000. Wow. See,
Yes.
dedicated Sophies. We're not playing with that
I
person.
know. And it's been, what is this, 24? It's been 2.5 years since I started this channel. So I started
Oh
this
no.
channel somewhere around February, March, in this early spring of 2022 is when I started the channel. Even though Keisha and I had the podcast since 2019, we moved, everything was moved over to the YouTube side in 2022. So,
Oh wow. But
yeah.
see, we got all these dedicated fans since we started the group. It's yeah. We focus on the soapies. Anyone else can go to other platforms and express their grievances. That's fine.
Yep, we have fun over here. So, thank you guys for every time that you come in here to support us, support me, support Bree and Keish and Trish and J Money and all of you guys that help out in the chat, making sure that the likes get up there, and those that are helping in the Facebook group that keep the content and keep the engagement going. So I appreciate all of you guys. We wouldn't have, the content, the platforms without you guys engaging with us. So thank you very much.
Exactly. We love to have fun. And if they had an issue with the midday chat, they really would have had an issue with Friday's episode. Last
Girl,
Friday's.
I'm telling you, last Friday night, we got crazy, but they had a ball.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that would have like, ooh, goodness, some broken heart syndrome over there.
And broken heart, you're so crazy. All right, so welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where myself, T, and Bree, we will be what is going on with me? I'm tongue tied. We will recap The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is our midweek chat. I know that Bree got a lot to talk about, and kind of want to get her insight on what she thought about everything that's happened in the last few days, and we're going to discuss it with her, right, Bree?
Yes, I'm here to run my mouth, y'all.
All right. Well, we will start with YNR. So, where you want to start at, girl? We got everything from Lily business to Chance business to Billy and Phyllis and Adam and Audra and what, girl? Just pick something.
Oh my goodness. We can go ahead and get Lily out the way since she was at the beginning of this week to begin with. So she could not get her way. So she had to go run all the way to Jill and do a Zoom call and basically ask for a second command position back. Because I don't understand why she went to Jill thinking it's going to put her in the top level position. Like, Jill's going to be mad, but she's not going to downplay her son to a lower level position. That's just never going to happen.
Now, what do you think about the fact that Lily conveniently left out some information that probably would have shifted Jill's whole mindset?
That honestly didn't surprise me. It surprised me more that Billy didn't go into specifics with Jill as far as Lily's betrayal.
I agree.
Like, say exactly what she did, especially because it puts his job on the line too, as we've seen this week. Go ahead and let her know. Yeah, she's been working with Victor. Victor's after us, and she's helping the enemy. She also tried to swing a major deal over to Victor.
Exactly.
That's how, and she gave company information. Like, why didn't he go into the specifics?
Yeah, that's the part that I didn't get. I mean, it's one thing for Lily to keep that information from implicating herself to Jill about her working with Victor. But when Billy only said, and I know I emphasized this yesterday and even on today's midday chat, Billy should have said, besides, oh, she backstabbed me. I'm like, dude, lead with details.
Yeah, this was just, I don't understand why. For one, it felt like Billy was trying to protect Lily.
Girl, something.
Did it seem like that?
I mean, it's got to be an explanation in why he didn't go into detail, unless they're going to figure out another way. Because it looked like Jill ain't coming back until next month, right? So
we haven't really seen Jill has been on a video call since 2020. We have not seen her physically on this show. That's why I was so mad at Billy. Like just hit the power button and cut the TV off. You don't need to see her. We really don't need to see her either.
Yeah, I know. All Billy had to say was, look, Mom, remember that deal that we have been trying to work on for a very long time? Well, the guy finally decided to give it a go. It would have changed everything. And then, go on to tell her that Lily took that information and started working with Victor. I can guarantee you she would have shifted her mindset on that.
Yeah. And I'm like, Lily, what is she so gung-ho about working at Chancellor for? She did not have to go through any of these issues working with her brother, but she wants to play the victim Olympics and try to get a second level C-suite position.
Yeah, I don't, why they fighting so hard for that?
Yeah, this is just, I don't understand the writing for Lily at this point because it makes her look stupid. She looks stupid. She was better off taking that severance check that had millions of dollars and just go on with her life. I don't understand why she's putting herself in a position to, for one, feed company secrets over to the enemy, and then also go to Jill for the same position Nikki would have gave her, which is the COO position.
Right.
No, she's not getting a top level position. That's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Lily, if she comes back to Chancellor, and I think you said this in the group chat, she would only be going back under Billy all over again. So it's not like she's going to be running. Well, here's the other thing. Just say that they knock Billy out the way. Jill still owns the company.
Right.
So she's still working for somebody. I don't understand. I don't get why Lily is fighting so hard. Like, Audra wants ownership because she brought the whole, right. We'll get to her. But she wants ownership because of the fact that she brought the deal to the table. Lily was just an employee. She started out as an employee.
Now she's nobody's employee.
Exactly.
So this is why she has to go through these routes just for a job. And I'm like, you had millions that you could have walked away with and then go work with your brother. But she fighting tooth and nail not to go work for Devon.
Correct.
And I would love for them to, if the writers are listening, please deep dive into why that is. Because the way Nate and Devon spell it out to her, like, hey, she can go to her family's company. That was Neil's legacy. While she keeps bringing up Neil to Victor, she don't want to work for Neil's company.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I work with Victor because he respects my dad. Do you respect your dad's legacy? Go work for your family.
Right.
I don't understand. Why are you swimming upstream to get to a position that technically, at some point, even Jill could fire you? Especially once she find out that you colluded with Victor.
Mm-hmm. And then she might not ever have a chance to go back to Chancellor. Like, it's... And once again, this is all for a job when she can be working over her family company and not have to worry about the unemployment line. These are her choices.
Yep.
And to stick over at Chancellor for whatever reason, she has no family ties to this woman, no relationship ties to this woman. I cannot think of any scene with Lily and Catherine when Catherine was around. Cannot think of one.
Yeah, I don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense the way that they got this girl fighting for a position when eventually Billy is going to inherit. As long as Jill owns that company, eventually Billy is going to inherit it.
And if Lily was... Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say Billy was going to inherit it. And somehow, even if Billy didn't inherit it, Chancellor is still a Chancellor. Now, he might not want the company, but there's a lot of people ahead of you in line, Lily. You're not in the will.
Right. She ain't even on the list. Like, she just trying to put herself on the list. And I'm like, she's not even a family. And if Lily's position and what she's done to Chancellor was all so great, wouldn't Jill give all of her power and control to Lily instead of Billy?
Exactly. He would have gave it to her from the jump.
Exactly, but she chose family, which Lily is not.
Right. It just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, she can make this so much easier for herself, but no, she want to fight upstream. So whatever comes from it, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right. What about another person? Because in my title on this video, it says Audra, Lily, and Diane need to take several seats. So what's about your girl Diane?
I was looking at tomorrow's episode too. What is with this woman? This woman has an attitude, just every which way she walks. Like, she don't like the wind to blow. Every time she sees Jack, she has an attitude. I don't understand, like, this is a lot of entitlement for a woman who has no experience at that company whatsoever. And I can understand that she's mad at her son. I get it. It just feels a little bit, as they would say, pointed. It feels like she does not care for her son. Like, I understand, like, Victor, he does numerous of things to his children. She is not Victor, or at least that's how she's supposed to present herself, that she's a changed woman. But she's the attitude, the way that she wants to go after Kyle now, it feels Victor-esque.
Well, I haven't seen tomorrow's episode yet. I was busy watching Love is Blind, episode 10 and 11. I'll get a chance to watch that. Plus, by the way, you guys, Sisters, for those, like a couple of people in the chat that support the show Sisters, we will be actually doing that recap as well later. Yeah. So I just want to mention that new season, episode 8 Season 8, episode
Season
number
8.
1. Yep, season
Mm-hmm.
8. Oh my God, I can't believe it's been 8 seasons. I remember I started watching it from day one. But anyway, um, yeah, Diane. Everything get on her nerves, and from what you were saying about tomorrow's episode, it looks like she wants to really go after Kyle. Am I correct? Is that what you're saying? I'll definitely catch up
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, but just overall between last week and this week, this woman, I don't know what's going on with this woman, but to be very honest with you, I think she set up her son. That I've never felt so strongly about this, and the way that, I feel like she's starting to show her true colors. I think you can only play a good girl for so long. And this is the same thing I would say about Sheila, too. You can only play a good girl for so long, but you're going to tap into those bad girl instincts. And just the way she's been treating Jack, it is just crazy to me. This man, this billionaire man, tore up a whole prenup on good faith that she loved him and cared for him and has changed her life around. I don't know. That's a good decision for him, but it's I don't understand why she's attacking Jack. She forgave him already. They've moved on, but she's choosing to have fights in public. She's making stupid decisions, leaving her computer unlocked for Kyle to get the information. It just feels like she's either trying to prove a point and using her son to do it, or she just completely lost her mind.
My thing is, obviously, and I said this last week, there's got to be some disconnect of her connection to her son. I guess anytime that you can walk away and leave and be gone for over a decade,
Yeah.
you have to have some form of a disconnect, which is why it's so easy for her to act the way she's acting toward her son. Jack is trying to hold on for dear life with trying to fix this thing with Kyle. Because, number one, that's his only child that's left. And number two, he's raised that boy majority of his life, where Diane, on the other hand, because she wanted to disappear and run, you left your kid behind for a decade. So it would be a lot more easier for her to turn on her son, because there's obviously some disconnect between those two.
I agree with that. I guess you can kind of say the same thing about Victor and Adam too. But at the same time, Victor, he didn't threw his daughter in jail. The number of things that he put Nick through. So I don't know. But I do agree with you. She is able to cut off her feelings when it comes to Kyle, like really quickly. And it wasn't that long ago she was shedding tears about oh my goodness, I'm going to be the best grandma for Harrison. I'm going to go up against the Phyllis if she wants to come between what's going on with my grandson and Summer and Kyle. She was showing all this emotion, and then it just, for whatever reason, things just flip when it comes to the business world. And this is why I feel she's going after her son to prove a point, because whenever she speaks, especially when she was talking to Michael, she was talking about how people underestimate her, and that and all the stuff that the investors were saying behind her back and everything, and all because of my son, and I'm like, you trying to go after your son to prove a point. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know about how you guys feel, but she's doing a weird way of teaching her son a lesson that could eventually put him in jail.
Like I said last week, and even watching what happened this week, this is where Jack should have took the time out to fix the situation. Right now, both of them know that Victor is coming for them. This is not the time to go into a tizzy and have arguments. This is where these two need to create a united front. Now, whatever happens to Kyle is going to be on his own choice, but the two co-CEOs of Jabot, Y'all got a company to run and a marriage to figure out. And for Diane to be obviously going off the rails at this point, it does nothing but cause more chaos for that entire situation. Not only at home, but for the business as well.
Yeah, I agree. They can't even have lunch together.
Then
they can't even have a simple conversation.
Then to me, and I got, like I said, I got to see tomorrow's episode. But Jack at this point, I don't know. He need to make some decisions. I know he loved that woman, but she just can't be everything that man say out of his mouth this past week. She just take it personally and get mad for no reason. You know how some people, they just enjoy being offended? You say something, they purposely take it out of context to get upset. And then you will be turning around defending yourself saying, well, I didn't say that. What I said was this. No. You meant me. And that's what Diane does. And it's like, how can you talk to a person like that?
Yeah. Especially when they took a whole gamble on you, putting you in a position you weren't qualified for, and also tearing up a prenup, and he's a whole billionaire. And then also forgiving you for even leaving their son to begin with. He took a whole gamble. She should just be somewhat more respectful of this man. Now, granted, I do agree with you. He should never have been focusing on Nikki. Mm-hmm. This is exactly the result that's happened within his company and his family. And I feel like he's taking some form of accountability for it. And he's trying to take care of what's going on at home and with business. But I do agree with some of the people in the chat. He can only coddle Kyle so much. Mm-hmm. And I'm really hoping that when all this comes out, he doesn't try to stop Kyle from going to jail. Because what he did, this is something he needs to learn from.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, the thing is with Diane, Jack and Kyle was stealing stuff for her, covering up for Jeremy Stark, all this craziness that she kept keeping a secret about. And then she'd be like, well, there's more. Oh, wait a minute, there's more. I forgot about this. And it's like, and they stayed and stuck it out with her. And now that she worked at the company, which technically she wasn't qualified for.
Nope.
Now you smelling yourself and you want to fire people and all this old kind of stuff. You know what? They need to kick her out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I guess, that might be a way for Audra to make her way in.
Oh, God, please. No. Mm-mm. Let's talk about Miss Audra. Go ahead.
Oh, Miss Audra, and the fact that I want my company back. It was never your company. I'm so sick of her saying this almost every time we see her. Lasad is mine. I poured my heart and soul into it. That's my company. It could have been yours. She chose to prove a point. And it was pointless because she ended up with nothing.
Girl, and then turn around and try to guilt trip Jack when he rejected her proposal by saying, I came to you with this information. I broke my NDA. And Jack came back, was like, hey, you chose to do that. I ain't asked you to break your NDA. She tried to guilt trip this man.
Well, once again, proving the lack of intelligence. Girl. I was like, girl, she broke that NDA a long time ago. She told Sally. Who else did she tell? She told Nate. Mm-hmm. She broke that NDA. It just didn't go in her favor, thinking that if she told Jack, it would help her out.
Well, and did it seem? Go ahead, girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, did it seem like she wanted Jack to try to buy Lasad so she can run it still?
Girl, she wanted, I'll help you if you help me and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking no quid pro quo for you, ma'am.
Right.
Because that's what she wanted. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. And he was like, no. Because she wanted to give him all the inside secrets, about what she knows about Lasad. Now, that's not to say Jack won't come back later, but I hope not. But in this moment, he said no. And by the way, you can't be Victor and you're not getting your company back, is what he told her.
She's like, watch me. You're like, okay. And I'm like, how is she going to get this company back? Like, what genius idea does she have? And I just don't understand. She had the opportunity to have the company all to herself.
Mm-hmm.
So she wouldn't have to go through these issues. This was all by design, by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that she was going to put Victor in, she can run the company, prove a point to Tucker, only for it to be pointless in the end, because she's not going to outbeat a billionaire, for one.
She didn't structure the deal right, Bree, from the start before she left Europe. You don't give the majority share. You don't give a majority share to a person and think that you're going to have autonomy. It don't work like that.
He was like, Victor is going to let me run the company how I want to. And then as soon as she got back to Genoa City, it's like, oh, I'm going to put Kyle in. You need to also work with Kyle. Otherwise, you won't have a job position. But she's like, okay. Since then, she's been jumping through hoops just to keep a job position. Mm-hmm. A job position. And she could have had ownership.
And just like that, Nate tried to tell her, just like Nate tried to tell his cousin. And both Audra and Lily need to be holding hands. They're in the same boat.
Yep. Except Audra is a little bit smarter to at least get her contract in writing.
Yeah, well, she done broke another one, though.
Yep. I hope she cashed that severance check. That's all I can say.
I mean, if Jack really wanted to ruin her, he could easily say, oh, yeah, by the way, thanks for the information. And Victor be like, what information? Well, your girl Audra hit me up telling me everything. She's done.
Yeah, I think when Victor and Adam had that conversation about smoothing Audra's exit through human media, I think eventually it's going to come into play. When I guarantee Jack is going to bring that to Victor. And I don't know what's going to happen to Audra. She might have to go run back to Tucker and say, can I be on your payroll again?
Yep. And I mean, but that's on her. Bad decision making. If you're going to get an investor, don't give away majority of the shares. If you want to own a company, but you want somebody as a partner or an investor or an angel investor, a silent investor, do not give away more than 50%. Else you're no longer in the majority. And they can call the shots.
Exactly. She went all through all that to prove a point that was pointless. Mm-hmm. And Tucker collected a big old check on her behalf.
Yep. Frenchie says that Audra is getting just what she deserved with a red exclamation point.
I agree. Without question. I was so happy for this downfall for this girl. Mm-hmm. But she hasn't learned her lesson yet. Same with Lily. They have not learned their lesson yet. So they want to continue to play the hard way.
Right. All right. What about your girl, Phyllis and Billy?
Yeah, I feel so bad for Phyllis. I'm like, I don't want them to break up this great co-working thing. I love Billy and Phyllis together. Mm-hmm. I really do.
I do
and
too.
I'm hoping, and what I'm actually hoping for, since it kind of came up, is Phyllis tells Jill about Lily's betrayal. And you'll go into detail.
Is that tomorrow?
No, I said that's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, that's what you're hoping for. Okay.
Yeah. Because Phyllis was talking to Billy about how she wants to try to talk to Jill one-on-one to try to save her position, because Billy was like, look, I have to let you, I have to fire you, which I'm like, oh my gosh. And he said, but he also said he doesn't want to put Lily in. So I'm thinking that he's going to try to run it by himself, but he has to get rid of Phyllis to get Jill off of his back.
Mm-hmm.
So, so Phyllis is like, look, I'll go to Jill one-on-one. And I'm hoping that if they do allow that to happen, that Phyllis lets Jill know all the details that Billy left out that he should have told his own mother.
Right. Because there is a spoiler out there that says Phyllis is supposed to take action. So I don't know. Obviously, it doesn't sound like it's tomorrow. Maybe it comes in the Friday episode when we do get the Michelle Stafford Phyllis 30th anniversary special or whatever. So maybe the action comes in there while she's also talking to Lucy about everything. Also, that whole conversation we had, also Sharon creating a whole picnic for Nicholas, and then what happened at that coffee house with Sharon sitting across that table from Lucy. I don't see how she could did it.
Right. First of all, this woman was picking flowers. She was making all kind of, like, all of Nick's favorite dishes, and he was like, you didn't have to do this. Like, she really didn't, but she is doing way too much. Way too much to try to get this man. And I think Nick senses that, but he's going to go along to get along. But when they went to that coffee house and they saw that girl break down, I was surprised that Faith and Nick didn't notice how Sharon didn't have any form of emotion at all.
You didn't see her tear up?
She teared up. Nah, I didn't.
Because when they had the camera behind Sharon Case's head, she took her finger and run it up under her eye to wipe that tear away. I don't know if you caught that.
I don't even take it seriously. This woman, the fact that this girl was crying in the coffee house, the fact that she was breaking down, I don't think Sharon feels any form of guilt. She was before they went to the coffee house. She had no problem with picnics and making future plans for more dates and this and this. She does not care about Lucy like that.
I don't think it was empathy. I was thinking more of, you did something bad, and the person that it affects, like this kid, you see this person in tears, and it had you, I would say it was more cringe-worthy for her. Because how could you sit there uncomfortably? Which you could tell she was uncomfortable. It wasn't like she was relaxed like she was at the park at that table. She was listening to this girl's story, trying to hold it together, in my opinion.
Yeah. What happens with Daniel, like, I don't feel sorry for Sharon. I really don't. And I hope they put her underneath the jail. Because to see that little girl cry and say, like, I thought I smelled my mom's pancakes. I miss her. Like, that was and when I almost teared up a little bit when she said that was my only friend for a long time. I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm wondering what that blackout moment are there. And then we kind of talked about that when you jumped into the comments yesterday, I think it was, when we were saying how could that blackout give the writers an opportunity to give her an escape. You know what I mean?
I think so. They'll use that opportunity for like a rewrite. What I think they'll do is kind of like how they did the whole Luna storyline. They kind of want to survey like how the fans are reacting to that particular storyline, and if they hear like different suggestions, like some people were saying like, oh, what if Daisy comes back? What if this happens? What if this happens? It would not surprise me if they take that opportunity to rewrite and fit something like that in. So they're leaving that door open, possibly to figure out what they're going to do with Sharon's character. Because at this point, this woman, unless they don't revisit that blackout, when it comes out, she's going to jail. That's just the bottom line. And then she would have to have a lawyer to help her go back to Fairview. But if they take that opportunity for that blackout, they can rewrite it to however they want to. They can rewrite it to where Lucy did it. They can rewrite it to where I don't know, Sheila could have popped up and did it. Anything
Right.
could have happened.
Yeah, exactly. They could give her, do like they did Thomas, and like Melissa Spencer is talking about, a brain tumor or something. Who knows? I just
Yeah.
think because, and I do know, I understand that legacy characters do get recasted. Legacy characters can go to jail. They can go to recurring, things like that. It's either one or two things. Either maybe she is taking a break for a while and she goes off to Fairview, kind of like Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley's been gone since, what was that, April? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
April. Yeah, I think it was like
She,
April.
yeah, I think she left around the time Thomas left on the other show.
Right. So Thomas left at the end of March. So if it was around March or April, I mean, but see, Ashley, oh, well, I guess I was going to say Eileen Davidson pops in and out because she got so many other projects. But I'm wondering, would they cut Sharon for a while? I guess they have before. There was one period of time we didn't see Sharon for a while, and everybody was like, "Where's Sharon?" Remember?
Wasn't that after Ray had passed?
I think so. That was about, was it 2023? Late 2022, early 2023, something like that.
Yes, like a year and a half, like almost a year and some change.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to see. Girl, what's up with Michael? That man is a royal simp and a half.
And a half. The way that he was talking to Adam, he was like, "Look, I've been trying to get underneath your daddy's good graces for the past few months now." I'm like, that is a pitiful statement to make.
It sure is.
All this legal experience, all of this, like, all this expertise that he could be using with other clients. Victor is not the only billionaire. And I'm pretty sure other clients wouldn't put him through the hoops that Victor is doing. And on top of that, Michael should be wealthy to where he could retire. But he's sitting here telling Adam, like, "Look, I've been trying to get underneath your daddy's good graces for the past couple of months." Just stupid. Yeah. So he can't even get his position back.
The thing is that after, and I said this earlier today, after I do something for somebody and I end up in a Peruvian prison where I had no contact to the outside world, nobody knew where I was for a while. When I got out, I would be done. Ain't another amount of money that could be like, yeah, I know I got put in prison before in a country that, I could have been unalived at. I'm going to go ahead and do this for you again. And then you turn around. But according to Victor, it's a betrayal. And when Michael described it to Adam, how did he put it? He was like, "I did something against your father that I'm not able to mention," or something like that, he said.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, you tried to help him.
And I'm like, he's done so many things for Victor just throughout the years. And it should make him upset that Victor doesn't care to forgive him. He should have walked away and been like, "You know what? I got plenty of money in my bank account. My wife is rich. I might retire, or I might start my own practice." I don't understand why he wants to be up underneath Victor. Girl, to where this is just making him look dumb.
I know. It's just pathetic. I'm like, Michael, why?
I mean, use your law degree for something that's useful. Like for Daniel, because clearly he might be needing a lawyer soon.
Let's talk about that. So, Sharon, somebody asked in the chat earlier, since when did Sharon become so tech savvy? Because she cracking into people's phones, changing passwords, downloading apps to throw off signals and everything. And I said this
What?
earlier. I forgot. Cassidy First is an IT firm.
Oh, that's a good point. I was actually about to say she was married to two police officers, and she was also getting it in with Chance too. She likes cops. She was with Dylan, who was a cop, while she was working over at GCP. GCPD,
Mm-hmm.
and she was also married to Ray. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they had some dialogue where they said like, oh, I think Cameron had mentioned it, like, being married to a former police officer had its benefits because she knows like how to cut the signals off and GPS on the phones or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she brought that part up, but I forgot about Cassidy First.
Yeah, that little company that what's his name left her. Yeah, it's late in the day.
Cameron.
Cameron. That Cameron left her was an IT firm. So maybe she got in there and started learning about technology.
She she definitely needed to if she's going to run that company.
Right. So I thought that was interesting. Somebody's like, how did she become so tech savvy all of a sudden?
Yeah.
That was funny. And then going back to the whole thing with Daniel and Chance. Chance found that message in the phone that supposedly was going to be sent to Paul about, oh, I'm scared of Daniel. I'm fearful for my life. Me and Lucy might have to come stay. She set that up to the T.
Yeah, I was actually like, okay, I was kind of impressed. I'm like, okay, she's pulling out all the Sheila stops.
I know. Well, I
Covering
think
all
she's
her
doing
bases.
better than Sheila.
That's a good point. I mean, this is like the level of intelligence with that, because that took me off guard. I was like, oh goodness, she really thought about this. But once again, further proving that she does not need to go to Fairview. This is calculated to
Right.
the T.
Yep. That is true. Frenchie said Michael is too busy licking Victor's boot to be any use to anybody.
You know what, Frenchie? You're 100% correct on that. He too busy trying to be up underneath Victor. He probably won't be able to help his friend's son.
Mm-mm.
Because Phyllis is probably going to reach out to that man to be like, "Hey, my son needs a defense attorney." I can probably see that happening. But you are correct. Once again, everybody sees how pitiful Michael is. Just pathetic.
Mm-hmm. But look, did the continuation of Chance and Daniel happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming he's going to jail.
I haven't finished the rest of it, but it's not looking good for Daniel.
Okay, so
I felt so bad for him.
Well, coming off of today's episode, yeah, Chance was like, you need to get up at this house because forensics is coming over. And of course, once they spray that house with luminol and shut the lights off, they're going to see everything that happened on that float.
And I'm hoping, well, probably storyline wise, you won't see Sharon's stuff. Well, actually, they will see Sharon's footprints, confirming that she was there meeting Heather, but they won't see a struggle or anything. So even if they see like Sharon's hair, it just corroborates her story that she was there to apologize. It won't link her to the crime. Ooh, this is not going to look good for Daniel.
The only thing that I can think of that could link Sharon to the crime, and I don't remember this happening, if she stepped in, if her, like you should go back to your footprint theory, if her footprints, even though she cleaned it up, but it left a trail out that door with blood on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
They can compare the size of the shoe print, and it would actually throw reasonable doubt that there was somebody else involved in that whole thing outside of Daniel.
Right. But the thing about that is, even if they were to see the footprint, she already told Chance, I was already at the house trying to apologize. What they need to do.
But what I'm saying, let's check this out, though. There would be no blood, though, on her foot. She was supposed to be there and leave. If she tracked a bloody footprint, which luminol would pick that up, they would have to, come up with 1, 2 theories that she saw the bloody stuff on the floor and didn't tell the whole story. Because why would her footprint have a blood imprint after the luminol spray? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha.
And of course, that footprint is probably going to be smaller than Daniel's.
That is a good point. I just don't understand, why Chance is not checking Daniel's alibis. Because prior to him searching a home, he could have at least corroborated with what Daniel was saying. Hey, I was with my mom, I was with Summer, I was with my daughter. Everything leading up to that point. And also the phone call that Heather had made.
Mm-hmm.
There's just different things that he could have looked into to see that, okay, maybe Daniel might be telling the truth. But it's all going to come down to Sharon's car. That's where I think the evidence is. Someone's going to find evidence in the back of Sharon's car. Because if it wasn't the phone and the GPS location and everything like that, she covered her bases as far as his apartment and Heather's phone. But no one's thinking of that car. And I wonder if maybe either Phyllis or even Faith or even Nick might see okay, this is Heather's hairpin or something. I don't know. But it's going to come down to that car.
Sandra pretty much equates Chance as Detective Baker. Did you see that?
He's just a more attractive one.
That's funny. Funny.
Oh, but poor Daniel. I agree with you, Jenna. I'm sick for Daniel. He shouldn't be going through those.
I mean, and all this because Sharon can't get over her feelings that her daughter actually, because it's not like Daniel did something to her. Her daughter made a choice and be disobedient and decided to go to a party and then jump in a car and drive home when she couldn't drive.
But I understand.
She can't blame that on him.
I agree. And on top of that, that man has been, and that took place 20 years ago. And she's been perfectly fine with Daniel going about his life. And she's been going about her life. It's the fact that her medication wasn't, well, for one, she stopped taking her medication. And whatever the doctor prescribed her, this is what led to that. It really did. Because prior to her medication being off, she was getting screwed by Chance in her office. She didn't let everything go. She wasn't thinking about not to say she wasn't thinking about Cassie, but she had moved on, is what I'm trying to get to.
I don't understand why Young and the Restless writers always tend to go, and I'm not saying that, she shouldn't think about her deceased child, but there's a lot, we don't hear Tracy always revisiting that, like they have Sharon revisiting Cassie. You know what I mean? There's other characters on the show that have lost loved ones, and they'll bring it up. But they always make it a heavy situation for Sharon every 2 to 3 years, it seems like.
I feel like they do the same thing with Billy and Chloe about Delia, but even they took things to the extreme, especially Chloe.
But they kind of doubt. We haven't really, Chloe throws jabs every now and then, but we really haven't dealt with the Delia thing since Billy had his DID story back in 2019 something. It's been 5 years or so.
They take opportunities wherever they can to just revisit that. I just don't understand why. Well, it loops a lot of different characters and kind of, I guess you can say shuffles the deck as far as the storylines go. Mm-hmm. But I just don't like the fact that it's been 20 years.
Mm-hmm. But they keep revisiting it. Yeah, she went through, it's like they created an anniversary around it, and it's like every 2 to 3 years, Sharon is going through something with missing Cassie, and I get it. But I mean, now, like you say, it's been 20 years. She done moved on, had other children. Faith came along. She's been in other relationships and stuff. I mean, and granted, I hope she get an Emmy nomination for the September 17th, 16th, whatever that was, 21st or whatever that episode was at the bridge. I hope she get an Emmy for that one, but at some point, give her something else. I mean, she's been bipolar. She had the breast cancer situation, all of the heartbreaks with the whole situation with Nick and Phyllis, and it's like, can we get a girl something good? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
all
I
right.
agree.
I think that's everything, because we got to move on to bold. How many likes we got, girl?
Let's see. We got 90 in the chat. We got 48 likes.
Okay, let's see if we can get those likes up to 70. Take a second, hit the like button. It's free. Let's go, you guys. Let's get the likes up. I appreciate you.
Yeah, right. Let's YouTube know you like having fun with us. Because we are definitely about to make fun of the Bold and Beautiful for sure.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the week on Bold, we saw the continuation of Carter kissing Hope, and Steffy walked in. And I mean, there's a lot of scenes that is like, do we really have to talk about?
I mean, a lot of the scenes were just all over the place.
I know. It was just like, what?
I guess we can get Hope and Carter out the way.
Right.
So the kissing didn't seem too hard. I guess they didn't really use too much teeth this time. But Steffy, girl, mind your business.
I know, right?
That's all I kept thinking. Like, they could have been talking about any and everything. Even if Hope was trying to reach out to Carter about her clothing line. And all Steffi cares about is just the numbers and that it's doing well. And on top of that, keeping Hope busy so she won't worry about getting busy with Finn. That's so. Steffi has this knee-jerk reaction to micromanage people, and whatever they decide to do, whatever conversations they have. Like she did not need to be a part of any discussion or know what Carter and Hope were talking about. It had nothing to do with her. Nothing.
Nope, not at all. And then she goes into this whole thing about, the Finn situation, and Hope was like, look, I made a mistake. I'm done with that. We can move on. And then she gave this whole speech about their moms. And Steffi was like, well, my dad would always love my mom. And then Hope was like, yeah, we understand that, but Brooke is in a relationship with your dad. So I'm just like, why are we having this conversation?
It was an unnecessary scene. Yep. Let's call it what it is. It was unnecessary. Unnecessary discussion. Like, we all been through this merry-go-round, and people could be like new viewers to the show or been watching it since day one. We know Ridge can't ever pick between either of these women. Mm-mm. We know.
No, I was agreeing with you. I said,
I just, it was an unnecessary discussion, unnecessary scene. It was a waste of an episode, just to be honest.
I know, right? I'm just like, okay, why are we talking about this? What did you think about this scene? Did you think it was unnecessary between Ridge and Eric?
Yeah, because we really shouldn't be surprised that Eric is Team Logan. I mean, they all love going over to his house. He is a proud Logan himself. So it didn't surprise me that he was going to be Team Brooke at the end of the day. He's never, the only time he was ever Team Taylor was only when he wanted Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 20 something years ago.
I agree. And he was like, what's going on with you and Taylor? And, I mean, you're in a relationship with Brooke. I'm like, really? Okay, whatever. I mean, they're not even married. They took marriage off the table. She claims she don't need to be married to Ridge without him, for him to be the love of her life, and vice versa. I'm like, whatever.
LaShonda said Eric's too old to be messy.
I know, right? I agree, LaShonda. All right, what about the conversation between... There was another filler conversation. The one between Finn with his shirt off and Steffy in his office.
Oh, they could have used that opportunity with a love scene, a different location. They could have got it in on his doctor's office table or on the couch, but no, she said no. So we just got more dialogue and regurgitated regurgitated storylines about, oh, my dad loves my mom. And even he's chiming in like, hey, they're not married. So, anything could happen.
Right.
Girl. And I'm like, sir, just shut your wife up and give us a love scene. That what was the whole purpose of him taking his shirt off and we're not going to get anything? Exactly. I'm so sick of these men and writers, producers, CBS, whoever. I'm sick of you guys giving us shirtless men and we're not getting love scenes.
Exactly. Yep, I agree. Hey, Belinda. No worries. She says she late again. No worries. You can always replay. Yeah, I'm just like, okay. I thought maybe they was about to get a little bit of action, but no. He had to go back to work, and she had to go in her head trying to figure out what's going on with her parents at her house. Speaking of her house, what did you think about the confrontation? Well, first of all, when I heard that promo from last Friday where Brooke said about Taylor straddling Ridge and sitting on his lap, I'm like, wait, what am I missing? Because we didn't see that yet. And I was like, I bet you it's something on that Monday's episode. And sure enough, that's what she was talking about, because whatever that position that the teacher put them into, she had to straddle him, the chakra teacher.
That's probably the most action that Taylor's had in a long time. And to be honest, that's probably the only love scene we've seen in a long while. And they had their clothes on because, I mean, first of all, what man... Actually, correction. Taylor knows this man is with Brooke. Mm-hmm. Why on earth would she ever feel comfortable straddling herself around this man? And she knows this man is the cause of her issue right now. And as she's crying and she's getting a deep relief, I bet she is. Girl, it's been a while.
Think about that position. That is an actual smexual position.
And I was like, the chakra suggested this?
Right.
I'm like, how is this benefit? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's beneficial for her to get her a new man, and so they can actually do the position correctly without the clothes. That's what she needs. And I think the chakra's just trying to tell her, look, if you just got yourself a man, you can be in all kind of positions.
Yeah, that's the confusing part. And I know that there's some, folks that are into chakra healing and things like that. It does go into your energy centers and the different areas of the body in order to release certain things that shouldn't be there. But I guess my thing is that wouldn't you think that it would be a way for her to do that herself? having Ridge's hand on her chest.
Right.
Where, I mean, because your heart for women is pretty much behind your left chesticle. And
Yes.
so if you have to put your hand there, which means that Ridge had to put his hands between her chesticles. So that's one issue, which why Brooke was looking crazy through that window she shouldn't be peeping out. I mean, peeping in.
Oh yeah, Miss, I'm not insecure, but I'm gonna go over to Steffy's house to see what my man is doing.
Exactly. And then the other part, they holding hands, gazing into each other's eyes, and then he says, straddle Ridge and look at. I'm like, you cannot tell me that is breaking the connection between the two of them.
They look extra connected to me, and I'm like, how do y'all not feel anything? Y'all are pelvis to pelvis. Especially him. How does he not feel anything?
Girl, with Taylor sitting on top of him in that position, you can't tell me that he didn't have a physical reaction.
At all. No blood flow, no nothing. He was just cool, calm, and collected. They were just breathing each other's air for nothing. They're just this good old friends who feel absolutely no stimulation from each other. Come on now.
So, and then she had an automatic breakthrough where she decided that now I want to tell the world what's wrong with me.
Yeah. I'm like, you could have been and done this. You could have always had a man. Yeah. And then she told Steffy, well, I was in Monte Carlo when I had the appointment and I saw Rich there, and then that motivated her to come to LA. Something told me it had to do with Rich.
Girl, but what about the whole confrontation before the Steffy conversation? After Ridge left, which Brooke should have chased him to ask and confront him what was going on in that room, she comes through the kitchen window. I'm like, you could at least walked around to the door and knocked.
Yeah. It gives off very jealous girlfriend for a woman who sits there and told Eric, I am the most secure I've ever been with Rich. I'm gonna go peep in and see what he's doing. And she makes a Sheila move, just opening the sliding glass door and say, like, what are you doing? I saw Rich and I saw you in his lap. What is this? What is this? But I thought you were secure.
And then when Taylor told her she had broken heart syndrome, she was like, get that cockamamie story out of here in so many words.
Yeah, she was like, I've had my heart broken before, and I've never had to do this before. I'm like, no, you put yourself in plenty of positions to get over your heartbreak.
Well, then...
I said, so I don't know where she's coming from with that.
Yeah, and then, she goes into this whole thing about don't think you're trying to steal pretty much get back with Ridge, and she was accusing Taylor of having the chakra teacher there, and Taylor was like, no, that was all Ridge. I was skeptical. I didn't believe this was going to work, but he told me that I need to do this. And she was looking crazy.
Yeah, she's like, I still don't believe you. I believe it when I hear from Ridge. I'm like, okay. And then when Ridge told her, she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she let him off the hook.
Yeah, and then, no, she didn't let him off the hook. She got emotional. And this is the part right here. She was like, you did something with Taylor that you never did with me before. I'm like, you've never been in a position before with Ridge.
Yeah, she did say that she researched it and realized that it's an actual real condition. And then she wanted to say, well, you get to do that with Taylor. How about you sit on my bed and do that with me? I'm like, okay, whatever, Brooke. And then,
Right.
listen, here's the thing, Bree. If you with your man, the last person you should be thinking about is his ex. While she straddled across for him, she asked him, "Is this like what Taylor did or something?" Remember, she said that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, girl, why you even think about her? You in your house. This is your man in your bed. Why do you care how it went with Taylor when you're doing it for a romantic moment?
Sounds insecure to me. That's the most insecure thing for this woman to do. For her to cry about a whole position. She's been in plenty of those positions with other men, but she's mad that he did it with Taylor with their clothes on. I guess that it's probably strange for her that you can have a connection with your clothes on. I understand that's different for her. So maybe she's mad she can get that with Rich. But at the same time, like you were saying, if that is your man, why are you thinking of, why are you talking about a whole other woman with your man?
Yeah, in your bed, girl.
In your bed, in that position. So in that position, he's going to be thinking of the other woman. This is just foolish.
Exactly. Can I go back to Taylor though? So when Brooke was doing all this accusatory stuff, and Steffi came up in there trying to figure out what the French toast was going on, Taylor goes into this whole soliloquy about I don't need no man. And I'm like, well, you fell out because you saw what said man was doing with his ex. I mean, with his girlfriend, I'm sorry. And then you nearly tore the curtains down out the wall because you passed out. And who was there? Ridge.
Yeah.
He went to the doctor with you. He was there to console you. And you were looking all googly eyed. And all this other stuff. And I'm like, and when she said that, I'm like, girl, stop. Please stop. Because for the last few... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, for the last few weeks, she's been telling Steffi when she had these old sad eyeball moments that Rich is the love of my life. Okay, but you don't need no man. All right. Yeah. We totally understand that.
I cannot. She needs a different man to focus on because she was focusing her whole attention on Rich. And I'm like, how is this man going to cure you? How? You're brokenhearted because of this man. So you mean to tell me there is no other man in any of the countries that you've been with that are single and are available and want to be with you? There's no man in LA that you can get with, even if it's just to clean the cobwebs off. Do something, because you can't expect for Ridge to help you. I don't get it. And this man will forever have both of these women in his back pocket.
Yep. I agree. And then finally, after 3 weeks, for almost a month, Taylor decided to tell Steffi everything. Do you think that Steffi is going to use this on the defense of Brooke, or a way to bring her dad closer with her mom as well?
She gonna play matchmaker. She told Finn a bold-faced lie. She's like I'm not gonna intervene. Lies. As soon as her mother told her the broken heart syndrome, she gonna strong arm her daddy and be like, look, we need to help mom's heart. Only you can do it, Dad. Like, she loves you. I know you love her. Like, and the fact that Brooke knows, I guarantee both Brooke and Steffy are going to have a lot of confrontations about this. And and both Brooke and Steffy going to strong arm Ridge to go swing in either direction. And Taylor's is going to sit in the middle and just wait for Ridge instead of just try to find another man.
I totally agree. I'm like, yeah, y'all. I mean, I hate when they go into this whole thing about, oh, I don't need nobody. I can be by myself. I feel that they had the same song and dance at the end of 2022, 2023. They did a whole victory dance in the hallway of Forrester Creation when they told Rich together that they didn't want to be bothered with him anymore. And where are we? We're back with Brooke wondering how it feels to be with her over Taylor, and Taylor looking googly-eyed being straddled on his lap saying, oh yeah, by the way, I don't need them. Yeah, sure, right. Okay.
And these are grandmothers. They haven't learned anything in 30 years.
Not a thing. Not
Brooke is still insecure. Brooke is still insecure. At this stage in her life, she was insecure in her 20s, her 30s, her 40s, her 50s, and now her 60s over Ridge. And you got Taylor, who pops in and out of the country, is still crying and heartbroken over this man. She's still pitiful at the end of the day.
Yep. So, I'm just like, do we have to go through this triangle? We'll see if Taylor actually lived by those words that she's saying, which I doubt. Because at this point, she should be not calling Ridge for anything. Since she good. You good, right? Yeah, we'll see about that. But somebody else is on the move this week, and that's Little Puke Waffle Boy Liam.
I know. I saw the little PowerPoint presentation he did.
Girl, you're so funny.
Like, we don't ever see him at work, but he had time to do a whole PowerPoint presentation and say, like, oh, I had to be the one to do this. I could have put somebody on this, but I had to make sure this was absolutely special for you, or something that he said.
Okay, hold on, Bree. Jenna said, why are we not talking about Ridge?
Because both of these women had talked about this man. There's nothing really we can say anymore. He like vaporly, like the thin air. Like, we didn't talk about Ridge.
Well, I think what she's meaning is that it looked like we're holding more of the accountability on the women than Ridge. The problem is that they keep going back. Ridge is going to be King, Pine, Cone, Poppy, Waffle King. I know I put a lot of words in there. But it's all true. It's all true. But it's up to them to not keep going back. They've been going back and forth with this guy and with each other for 30 years.
I agree.
For some point, you got to tell these ladies to go take several seats and leave his behind alone.
And I agree. I was just being silly. But the thing about that is, we can blame Ridge. Same way we can blame Liam. Same way we can blame Bill when he was going back and forth between Katie and Brooke. These women choose to be in these positions. They do. Taylor could have moved on years ago. She knows Ridge like the back of her hand, like she keeps saying, so she knows his actions won't change. So then why doesn't she move on to another man? And you have Brooke, who keeps saying this is her destiny. But her destiny has no problem touching on women's kneecaps, rubbing women's back, keeping secrets and trying to have like little kisses here and there when he was with that other woman. I forgot her name. But he will never be fully loyal to her. And this is why she will forever be insecure. And she could also have the option to go to a different man, but she chooses not to.
Bree, let's play it out. So we're both seeing the same guy. He was with me first, and then you wanted to get back with him. Now he goes over there. And then I want him back. And he didn't already betray me, but I still want him back. And he still got a little bit of piece of his heart with me. And then he comes back over here. And then we go through the same cycle of trying to get the same guy back and forth for 3 decades. Who's the problem? Me and you.
Yeah. Because we allowed it to happen. It's one. And the other thing, too, we keep harping on the fact that it's been 30 years. Neither woman has learned anything. Still, this man will forever have these women in his back pocket. Still, that is kind of sad at this point. They should, if anything, Taylor really could have moved on, because Ridge has put Taylor's had nothing but egg on her face trying to prove herself to Ridge and to be with Ridge. she could have moved on with somebody else. And the thing is, these women have moved on with other men, but they want to zero right back to Rich, knowing how he is and that he's never truly loyal or faithful. Yeah. It boils down to the choices of these women. They don't have to put up with anything. They're choosing to put up with it.
So she said Taylor went to Aspen to be rid of Ridge, remember? Yeah, but they end up sleeping together in the cabin. I got the video that I edited on my Instagram.
Yeah, but clearly not enough. It didn't last long.
Right, because they slept together.
And then they almost got married.
Yeah, he made a whole dress for Taylor and everything when they got back to LA.
Blackpink needs to put Liam with Taylor. I mean,
But I get okay, Jenna. I get it. He begged her, but she could say no. Nope.
Right.
No, I don't care how much begging you do. If it's your choice to accept it or reject it.
Yep. And she accepted Reg for who he was and completely ignored the reason why she went to Aspen anyway, which was to get over basically get off of the merry-go-round and choose herself and choose her happiness and not have to deal with the man with the divided heart. But with all, I guess, that little bit of begging, she decided, okay, I'll accept this.
She said she didn't want to go back to him, but she did. She almost married him.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to move on. Mm-hmm. I know, because Jenna, she will be going. We love you, Jenna. Yes, we do, with your crazy self. We know we agree with you on Diane, so we'll get you that one.
Oh, yes, without question.
Okay. That whole PowerPoint presentation with Liam for Hope. The interesting thing about that, you do see that he threw himself in some family pictures. Now,
yes. I was about to say, especially the one with the Douglas. I'm like, that ain't your child, sir.
Right. That's what I was like. That's Thomas's kid with Hope legally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, there's no other pictures with Hope and her kids. You just had to throw yourself in this little tribute.
Yeah, because the thing is, that's supposed to be, he talking about you can upload it. So you want her to present that to the world that y'all are a united family. And you support her business. I'm like, dude, can you not be that obvious?
Exactly. And desperate. Like, clear, and he kept on saying, like, I had to do this. No, you didn't. Same way you choose not to go to work. You didn't have to do any of this. Like, she wasn't even expecting him to do all this. But even when he kissed her,
he said, I just want you to hear this. And then kissed her. And that's what I was joking earlier. I said, did your lips turn into a pair of ears? Because you said you wanted her to hear this. And then you just rammed a kiss on her face.
Yeah. I'm like, it's been a while for you, Liam. Been about a good year and a half. So he's spinning the block twice. He tried to go back to Steffy thinking that'd be his easy way in. She said no. So he's like, look, he's putting out all the stops too. He's feeding her ego and she's eating it up. Like, this is my issue with Liam. This is why Hope is so like hungry for attention, because he always fed that girl's ego better than anybody.
Bree, this man said, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and the lie detector determined that was a lie.
And exactly, I was like, so it's a long time ago, like a week ago?
Yeah, that's what I said. What, 2 weeks ago? Because up until like right before the Luna thing happened, Liam was trying to convince Steffy to get away from Finn.
Yeah, I agree. Angela Atkinson, she said, "Why Liam just grab and kiss everyone?" And then she said, "Wasn't that video supposed to be about work? How his picture end up in there?" He
Exactly.
he. When has Liam ever been focused on work?
Girl.
See, that's a trivia question. Let's guess. How long has it been since Liam actually focused on his job?
I mean, what got me is the fact that he said he'd been wanting to do that for a really long time.
Yes, I'm like, that was like a week ago when your brother brought it up.
Exactly. Because other
I
than
mean,
that,
it's
he
been a
wasn't even,
long
Hope wasn't even on his radar until Will said something about it.
nope, nope. It's been zeroed in on Steffi. Like, I understand it's been a long time since he got him some,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, he once again telling lies. He ain't learned nothing either. But once again, she ate up those compliments, though. She didn't care for the kiss, but she was eating at those compliments, saying like, "Oh, she's amazing. She's this. She's that." This once again, this blowing that girl's head up. That's why when she's attention hungry, she loves words of affirmation. Like she feeds off of that. So whenever Carter says it to it, she lights up. Whenever Thomas used to say it to it, she lights up. Courtesy of Liam, because he's been doing that for years, and that's all she cares for is
Girl,
when a man glorifies her.
he always think that kissing somebody, they gonna feel something just automatically. Because that's why obviously we're not gonna get any closure on those kisses from back in Rome.
Nope,
So
that's
that's a right.
gone.
That's gone after today. That's we ain't gonna. They ain't thinking about them kisses no more. But he tends to think that kissing somebody is just gonna light a fire. I guess just like Hope assumed that with Finn. Maybe now she realized what Finn felt like in that moment.
Well, probably so. But Liam, he feels that he's the same guy from 10 years ago. That these women are going to fall at his feet. They're going to keep fighting over him. And both of them said, "No, I'm good." Especially Hope is the same woman who got out of her marriage to be with a whole other man. Like she was fantasizing about Thomas while getting it in with Liam. So whatever them kisses he felt were going to do something to her did nothing.
Well, Aisha said he should have worked on that marriage when Hope asked him to.
Ooh, that part.
That part right there. I mean, he had an opportunity because before she ran to Thomas, she gave him opportunity to see if he wanted to go ahead and do the divorce thing, and he was mad at Thomas so much, so she walked away. That was what, a year and 3 months ago.
Yeah, she gladly as soon as she slept with Thomas, she went back to the cabin and was gladly handing that man some divorce papers.
I know, right?
She was like, "You want to work on this? No? Okay, well here, go ahead and sign here, here, and here."
Right. Girl, she acted like she was at a real estate closing. You need to sign
Yeah.
here, here, and here.
She had them papers drawn up real quick. But
Real quick. Yeah, so we'll get a chance to see on the 18th is when we'll see what this whole romantic night is about between, Carter and Hope. Hopefully they give us some good stuff.
I know. The only it better not be like just Ridge and Taylor with like some form of intimacy, because at least she was on top of, she was in that man's lap.
Right.
Like when you look at the love scenes, they just do kissing, the guy is shirtless, and then they cut to like a commercial and they're finished.
I agree. So we shall see, girl. It was a good one, we gotta watch in a half an hour, sisters.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait for it to come back. I have so many thoughts, so many questions on the show. It's going to be good.
Yep. So we're going to end it right here. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll have some more good content tomorrow from The Young and the Restless. I have to still watch it. Bree, you got to finish it. And we'll see what happened. And hopefully Liam gets a rejection tomorrow. He shot his shot, and maybe he'll get his shot blocked.
Yeah, because we're still waiting for Ivy to come, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you get a little action from Ivy. That would be nice.
She was the only one who wanted him, even after 10 years.
Well, you know what? Because they really didn't. How long were they together when she was here? Was it about a few months?
What you mean when she
Ivy.
came on early this year?
No, way back when.
When they were they were together for like a couple of months. He had just got over Hope.
Okay.
After Hope lost her baby, and then Steffy came like shortly after, like literally shortly after. So they were only together for like a few months.
Okay, so obviously she really haven't had a lot of time with Liam, so maybe this would be her opportunity. That would be nice. We'll see.
Yeah. Aisha Jackson asked, when are we doing Sisters? That's going to be right after the episode aired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do it live. It's going to be so much fun.
We shall see. All right, you guys, we'll end it here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. I am T.
And I am Bree.
And we will see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye, Soapies.